Back in North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
That's that's your studio in the crib.
Yeah, this my like you got the plaques up here, the seat.
The
Yeah,
plaques.
says yeah, had to get that order in for some new ones.
I know. Jewel box taking care of you, or they're tripping.
Nah, they like we hit them up, so they hit us back. So it's just about when they go send it. It's been like they've been sending them quick, so we
Yeah.
just what's up with that?
Yeah, no. Jewel box is almost like the placements. It's not really on the way until the paperwork's done.
Exactly. I didn't even know it was that much paperwork until like Jerry and Manny had told me for real. I didn't even know it was like it's a whole process. You got to show them your name, you're a part of it, Spotify credits. I was like,
Yeah.
dang.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. You typically got to show Spotify credits or like actual paperwork. A lot of people try to send Genius, but you can't really send Genius. Doesn't really work because Genius can be
Yeah.
manipulated sometimes. And then once it gets sent, the first rule, a lot of people don't know the like plaque rules. The first rule is the artist has to have the plaque. So if you see a song goes RIAA gold or platinum or whatever, and you just try to get one, it's pointless. You might as well
Yeah.
just keep watching the artist manager, the artist label, whatever. If you don't see them post like a picture with the actual plaque, you're not going to be able to get it. But yeah, and then once they get it, then you submit it with all the Spotify credits and everything, but then the label has to approve it. And that's the other part of the process too. Like it's one specific person at each label, is my understanding, that approves it. So like if you're like, no, I know someone at the label, I'm just gonna call them, it's gonna be simple. It's not like that, because that person still has to tell the person that they're asking. And then once it gets approved, they send you the invoice, then you're good to go. But
it's like a obstacle course to get a plaque.
yeah, flag, yeah. But so that's obviously the reason you hear a lot of big songs, big plaques, a lot of big shit happening on the way as well. But I think everyone knows what's going on. Mr. Hits Only, Mr. The biggest goat, man. It's too easy in the building. What's going on?
Too easy on some other shit.
Was good.
Shit, bro. It's just another day building through. What do you got going on?
No, just working on the hits only thing for real. And you know, I just working with artists like SoFaygo. I'm really more on the like building side right now, like and the pop side of music, because I got all the hip hop stuff already. Like I'm trying to put my mind somewhere else.
Definitely. Yeah, that's one thing that like is so different from you than a lot of other people, is I feel like you really kind of like embrace that, building with the artist process. Like you've always been in the mix. The reason I know Fago is because of Easy, like 2018, whatever. But yeah, speak to that a little bit. Like, why has that kind of been something that's appealing, enticing to you, whereas some other people just, kind of like want to just jump to the top right away?
Well, it's like you working with an upcoming artist, and it's like they're trying to go up too. So y'all come together, y'all can build from scratch. I just like building stuff from scratch. Like building anything from scratch is just fun because y'all both can put your ideas together. And it's just like a lot of people don't really know building up with an artist is like your best way to get to the industry and for your name to stay around for a long time. And it's like I knew that before I started producing. So that's why I went straight to SoundCloud and just like, do my research, trying to find whoever is fired that want to work. They gotta work at my pace. Like anybody that doesn't work at my pace, I just shovel to the side. Like I like never will work with them again. But it's like I don't went through a whole bunch of artists, and then then you hit a gold mine, and then after that, it's just more easier, like to maneuver that way.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, you definitely been building up with a lot of artists. A bunch of them will kind of connect with once we get more about kind of like the easy background. But the other thing is building stuff from scratch, and you also already touched on kind of like hits only. Go through kind of like hits only, what you're kind of like building out there, and what kind of like the vision is with hits only.
Like hits only, a lot of people think it's a collective, but it's actually not. It's like people come to us for our service. So like my manager, Jerry and Manny and me, we got so many connections. So we can send to anybody breathing, literally, like so we can get work to anybody. So it's about like giving producers, even artists, a platform and a chance to get put on quicker than usual. Because everybody don't really get a chance to be put on like at all. Some people will probably miss that chance, but we like try to give out a higher percentage opportunity for real. And it's like a community, an ecosystem for everybody to like just connect and make music.
Definitely. So I'm an upcoming producer. I'm really trying. I feel like I got the most fire loops. I got some just hard ass beats, and I just feel like I got no outlet at all. But you know, I'm building with artists from my hometown. This, that. I want to get involved with Hits Only and what Hits Only's got going on. Like, what's kind of like my best way to even like shoot my shot?
You really just got to be fired because we're always looking, like, especially me. I work with upcoming artists 24/7, so I'm always looking for what's next. If you're sending stuff to the account, or like if you're tapping into like the live streams or whatever, and we think you're fired, like of course we're gonna hit you up to work and start building together, you know, just trying to turn up each other. Basically, that's the whole thing, is really just about helping each other out, get to that next goal. Like I can tell an upcoming producer something he never knew, and if once he knows it, he can just switch his whole attitude and everything, and then he's out of here. Like that's really what it's all about for real.
Literally out of here. But shit, no, a lot of that's super interesting. Everybody be sure to go check out Hits Only, check out what they're building, what they got going on, etc. But yeah, we're gonna get kind of back to all that, and of course a lot of the big placements and you know stuff going on now. But yeah, I mean, for you, you're stationed in North Carolina now. Is that where you're from? You grew up there? Like, what's kind of like the intro Its2ezzy growing up and how like music kind of first entered your life?
Well, like North Carolina, I'm from Raleigh, so it's like the small city for real. Everybody, it's really known more for the hoop state. Like everybody just plays sports out here. So it was really weird for people to actually transition into music because nobody was really making music like that. I think from Raleigh until 2C blew up. Mm-hmm. Like I literally watched it, like for him just going to football and blowing up. So then after that, it's like, dang, you start to look around. I was like, you could start telling more artists are popping out and stop playing sports because that wasn't normal. You won't stop playing sports in North Carolina. Like, you don't stop playing sports. You literally go into sports, they make it to the league. Nobody ever stopped sports and started doing music. So like once that happened, I felt like a lot of people started to tag along and do that. So it really wasn't really a music scene that much. But like, of course, Charlotte is really like the music scene, the music area. Raleigh was really the basketball culture. So yeah, like, yeah, a lot of people just never really made music until that time right there.
Yeah. No, I definitely remember that like 2C was really kind of the first in that kind of like area that I really saw booming. I remember TNT and Tego actually did like a Who Dat project, it was called, early on with him. Yeah. Yeah, and then I feel like that's kind of like when it started going a little bit. But so the area is really it's all sports really. Like that's just like the main focus.
Yeah, everybody literally from elementary school to whoever, and just you're playing basketball, football, baseball, all three. Like you just going. So
yeah. And then what about, I guess for you, how does like music kind of start off? Like how do you even start making beats in the first place?
Well, I already had a musical background, like, and plus I was going to church a lot with my mom. So, and my god brothers would be playing the keyboards and drums and stuff like that. So I would just soak everything in and just watch what they do. Sometimes I play the drums at church. Sometimes like I just sit and watch. But when I first really got to making beats, it was really 3 years ago. But I had the knowledge of music because I just listened to music 24/7. Like my cousins used to watch us when we were little. So all they used to play was like MTV, BET, and Maroon 5 used to come on, Soldier Boy come on in the morning and stuff like that. So I just took that in with just like soaking all that music in, different genres, rock, like Green Day, all of those music videos that used to pop up. I just used to soak everything in and just took all the music, like the knowledge from the videos, and started trying to apply that to FL when I first got it. And that was actually the demo version. I was on the demo version for like, I'll say for like a year, because I didn't know you could buy it. So I was just on that for a year. And then I already had the basics down pat. So once I got that right, it was just over with. Like
Yeah. No, it's kind of the same way, just so much just consuming so much stuff, just trying to figure out the best way to make it happen.
Mhm.
When did it kind of get to a point for you where did you ever try to kind of like build with artists that were like near you in the same town, etc., or was there really no one to build with because everyone's just so sports focused?
Well, it really wasn't until like I'll say my junior year of high school where it was like you start seeing more artists pop up, and I tried to work with artists that was from my city. It didn't work for a little bit, but after that, like Beat Stars and stuff started coming out, and then I started just venturing to the internet side and trying to get my beats, like not even trying to get my beats knowing it was going over there, but it's like you put your music online, it's going to reach like Russia or something. So that's really like when I started to like venture, like working with other people outside of like my area.
So you said you put the beats online, it'll just start popping in Russia or some shit.
Yeah, people in Russia, like I just got a whole bunch, like it's just crazy how many connections like that has happened just by putting beats on the website, and somebody in like Beijing, like, yo, bro, I got this beat for you, man. It's just crazy. Like,
Yeah.
that's really when I started working with people outside of my area.
No, you can land some big ones like that. What's it? Furno Spazzin's like the go with that shit. Bro, he's landing these placements in Brazil that are getting hundreds of millions of streams. Like
I've seen it from the go. Like I see it every time you post on the game, bro.
This man Furno's really spazzing out here. I watch it around like, bro, I be chilling with Furno feeling like I got baby money. I'm like, damn.
Furno is different, bro.
He's different. But shout out to Furno, man. Salute to my guy Furno. When you're all right, so you start making beats, whatever. Like how old are you when you're like making beats, FL, etc. is like a everyday point in your life?
I was 20 years old when I started making beats.
20 years old.
Yeah.
And then do you start trying to kind of like build with local artists around you right away, basically, or does that happen like a year or so later?
That really happened like a year, like down the road, like a year, because I was just making beats. Like I was just making tons and tons of beats, of beats. I really wasn't working with anybody from my city, because at first I was like kind of like, it was kind of corny. Everybody was looking at it like it was corny to make music. At the time I was like starting to make beats, so it was kind of weird like that time. So were you always putting stuff on the internet and using kind of the internet route to some extent, even when you were working with those local artists, or did you move to the internet once you kind of saw that there was a ceiling working with local artists just based on the way your town is? I was really trying to be on the internet. I was trying to, like, with the BeatStars, collabing with a bunch of producers that had like a higher ranking than me. Mm-hmm. I was trying to be on the internet, but it was like, it was kind of hard at the same time because I wasn't seeing any results. So it really was like,
because it's kind of interesting because you basically like, you're building with artists and then you're using the internet strictly for beats, and then you kind of put both of them together and start building with artists on the internet specifically.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, and that's I feel like a lot of people don't kind of like have the wherewithal to even think to do that really. So what did that process look like for you? I know you kind of mentioned that you would like research and make it your job to understand SoundCloud and like kind of building through. But like, how did that process kind of look for you early on? Like, what were you looking for? What were the outlets you were looking on? And like, how did you put two and two together to say like, okay, this person could be a good candidate for somebody that I want to try to build with for real?
Well, it's funny because it was like a long time ago. It used to be like producer group chats on Instagram. So it's like I remember it was like me, Rio, Ferno, just a bunch of people, bunch of producers before they actually took off. We were all just be talking in there. Everybody putting like, oh, I'm working with this artist, so and so. Oh, y'all sent collabs, blah blah. It was one time somebody sent an artist in there, and that was actually my first time. Like actually, I never really looked. I never really looked for like a specific sound. I just wanted to work with somebody that was fire and that dropped music. So when that happened, it was it's a crazy story. One of the producers in the chat had sent an artist in there, and that artist is Sport BBS. And they were like, oh yeah, he just posted my song, snippet with me and him. So we all went to go look, and I hit him up like, yo, bro, you fire, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't my song. He was like, yeah, send beats. At that time, nobody was messing with like the sound that I was doing, like the weird, like fast, weird sounding like beats. Nobody was messing with that. And I sent him the pack. Like an hour later, he deleted the other producer's post and posted mine. And he dropped it like the next day. And then the song ended up going crazy. So I was like, dang, like the producer was mad, but I was like, I didn't do nothing. Like all I did was just send a beat. He deleted that post. He posted our snippet. And then after that, it was out of here.
Wait, so the discovery process kind of came from being a part of like these bigger producer group chats on Instagram?
Yeah, it's really like, because everybody has their own thing or something comes with them. So it was like 30 people in the chat. And then, you feel me? Like, it just happened that day that somebody had sent an artist in there, happened to be Sport. And then we just started working. That's how me and Sport found each other first. That's how we started working. That was actually my first time working with like an artist on SoundCloud.
But you always been so savvy on the internet and stuff. Like, it's producers to this day that never been in a chat. How have you always been such like a person just finessing on the internet, figuring out?
I don't even know, because now that you ask it, it's like, dang, I'm actually got to think about it now, because it's like, I don't even know for real. It was just, stuff was just happening. Like, things were just happening. Like, now that I look back at it, it was just happening. Like, that guy just so happened to put an artist in the chat. Then we just started going crazy. It's just like, I just been on the internet, especially because I was on YouTube also, trying to post on YouTube and then do the BeatStars thing, but then I just gave that up and just went straight to SoundCloud.
Straight to SoundCloud.
I was like, at that point, because it was like, I wasn't making any money like that. So I was like, I mean, I'm already not making money like I want to, so I'm not about to keep doing it. I'm just about to go do something else for a little bit.
Man, that is crazy. I wonder if it has something to do with like where you're from and everything, and just resources that you do or don't have. So it's like, all right, I'm going all in on the internet. Because even like, bro, like you were way ahead of the curve. I feel like I'm pretty on top of current trends and things, but like me and you was like some of the earliest on Clubhouse. You were way ahead of the curve on Discord, way ahead of the curve on the Twitch. Like everybody's getting like that Twitch partnership now, but like you were really had it like way back then. Like,
it's actually crazy. Like, it's like I didn't try to be on the internet. It was just so happened that I was up there. Because at the time I was playing sports, so a lot of my followers were from like sports, like going to AAU tournaments and stuff like that. Yeah. So that kind of was like a little bump because I already had the following. So everybody just transitioned. I just transitioned my whole page to music. That's all I did, and then I started gradually building that fan base up for the music part.
That's crazy. We need the AAU hoop mixtape. It's too easy.
I might best out to drop a highlight. I still got highlight tapes. I might
Yeah,
just put a post on Instagram.
whoever's watching this, find the huddle link. Put the huddle link in the comments. I'm pinning it immediately. We need that huddle link.
Nah, that would be crazy. I still got videos from that. Those the old days.
Yeah, but no, that's crazy. All right, so kind of thinking about it in chronology, like, okay, 20, you start making beats, you start progressing, it becomes something you're doing all the time. You kind of start building with artists within your town, kind of start moving more so migrating towards the internet route, start building on the internet. You go from trying to be like independent on your own to just posting your content on YouTube, doing the BeatStars thing, etc. You kind of found more success in another lane, which was building with up and coming artists on the internet. You find yourself in, one of the big producer chats. Everybody knows there's a whole bunch of producer chats, but even that, like, at that point in time, were you having any real motion for real? Because like, you can't just join one of those chats. Like, you got to kind of be wanted, or someone's got to co-sign you or whatever.
Those chats. Okay, so I was working. That's when it's like kind of go back again. Like when I was working with Sport, me and Sport actually like started a crazy sound on SoundCloud that nobody was doing at the time. That's how my name started to come up in talks. Like, yo, what type of music is this? And it just kept going and going and going. And then that's when like a lot more people from SoundCloud, because SoundCloud is just like a gold mine for any producer to blow up. Like if you want to blow up, just go to SoundCloud. Even to today, like we were making so much crazy music. It was going to Instagram, and everybody was starting to find my name, like especially because of my tag, because my tag is just catchy. So everybody was just coming from that. And then me and Y2, we started to make beats. That's how I got to SoFaygo. It was through Y2. Out of nowhere, I was sick I think this was before COVID. Like I was sick like a week before they didn't know what it was. It was like that month before, like everybody was just getting sick and nobody knew what it was until like they said it was COVID. So I think I had COVID to this day, like from back then, but
yeah, it
was I seen a snippet go on my page come up and the notification just going crazy. I'm like, what's going on? And then it's SoFaygo, like so that's when everything really started getting put together. Like after that, I ended up going in the group chat with SoFaygo, Sport, Y2, Bryson, a bunch of other Joey, like that was our really group. So we all just started making music from that. And SoFaygo was already making like his buzz or whatnot. And everybody was just going. I already had my name out because of Sport. So we just started putting everything together. And that's what really started generating my name everywhere on SoundCloud. It was really that whole story. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. But even at that time, so Y2 taps in or you hit him and he's already familiar with you because you got the built-in credibility from building a new kind of like subgenre of Sport?
Yeah, like I hit a Y2 first and he already had heard of me because of Sport. Him and Sport, the crazy thing, him and Sport already knew each other. And I didn't even know them. So I didn't even know they knew each other. So that's when I hit him up. And then me and Y2 started to collab. And then like that's what really was it. Like it was just like magic. Like stuff would just happen at that point. It would just happen perfectly. That's a crazy
Man, that's too crazy.
Yeah, it's just everything was just perfect. Like,
and that's really right before COVID, because me and you end up locking in like first month of COVID.
Yeah.
And then that's when I get put on to SoFaygo, and it's just boom. From there, we start going crazy.
Yeah, there's like just every song on SoundCloud hitting like 300K, 500K, 700K. Like it just start going up. So,
yeah. Did you was there any like strategic like marketing to that whatever? Because I noticed like that kind of like lane is always pretty good about giving the producer a lot of credit, or even like putting their name in the title of songs and things like that. Was that something that just kind of happened, or was there any kind of like strategic like movement to that, to building up your name?
It just happened. Like I never had a problem with somebody crediting me and putting my name on something, but like during that time, it wasn't no promo or anything. Like we didn't have TikTok or nothing like that. So you would just drop music, and the algorithm on SoundCloud is just good. Like you'll listen to a random song, then that song will just come play after it, just out of nowhere. So that's what really like helped it. Like it was just everything was organic. Like we just dropped the song, and then the song went up, and then that's just what happened. Like no music was nowhere else but SoundCloud.
But SoundCloud really did have one of the best algorithms because it would find you a song with 50 plays that was fire. That would be
like out of nowhere. You're like, who is this? Like,
yeah.
like why are they playing? Why are they sending me a guy with 50 followers and plays 100, but he got better music than somebody with 20K followers on SoundCloud going crazy.
Going too crazy. No, man. So I mean, kind of how does it start with like you and Faygo from that point? I mean, it all comes together very organically, which I think is something worth highlighting because I feel like so many people try to like force relationships and like work with like bigger artists that they want to be attached to, but that comes together very organically. Now you're in the group chat. Like, what's kind of like your work process like now? You have his number, you send him beats in there every day. Are you collabing with other producers and letting them send beats that's got your collabs on it, or how are you kind of like maneuvering it from there?
Like, well, it was like everything up until then was like me, Watu, and Bryce making stuff because we were in a group together. So it was us three with Faygo and the other two artists, Sport and Joey. So we would just, Faygo would need something, we'll make it. Us three will make it, and then because we're on a lot of stuff early, like us three, and then it ventures off to me and Watu to work with Faygo, making songs with Faygo. Then it's like, then I'm sending Faygo beats on myself, and we're making songs together, one-on-one. And that's how those songs came out, like Go, Don't Miss, like all those other ones like that. And it's really like it was like an in-house type of thing. So we would all just work together from there, just build up everything from inside the chat.
And then, yeah, I mean, it just keeps kind of building and going up and up from that point. For you kind of have a pretty big breakthrough moment early in COVID too. This, I believe, April 2020, when the AI Nash song comes out. YoungBoy, Cole Bennett directed video, Lyrical Lemonade video, etc. Bro, it was so crazy too, because I remember me and you were talking like right before that, and I don't know if you knew and didn't tell me, or you just didn't know when it would drop, or you didn't know at all. But remember we were talking about how like the only Cole Bennett YoungBoy video was the one of him and Juice WRLD, Bandit. Yeah. And you really said like, how crazy would it be if Cole and YoungBoy just had a video just solo, and then you end up having it from there.
I didn't even know it was happening after that. Like,
yeah,
I was like, that was the most craziest thing that was tripping me out. Because before I was talking to you, I was talking with Sport about that too, and I was like, dang, bro, like, what if Cole Bennett and YB had a song together and dropped it on his channel, because they were both taking over the YouTube with the views. So I was like, that would be crazy. Like, I was like, yeah, the video will freeze for sure. And then we get off the phone. And then I'm scrolling on Instagram. Then I see a video with YoungBoy and Cole Bennett. I was like, that's kind of weird. And I play it. I was like, then the melody, I was like, hold on. I got up and went to my computer and I went straight to, like, I don't even know how that happened. I went straight to the pack and I pulled it up. And I was like, that's crazy. That's my melody. Like, it was crazy, bro.
Yeah. Then you got me calling after. Said, we're getting this.
Yeah.
We're getting money.
I was like, dang, bro, that's actually crazy.
It was
just crazy, bro.
No, it's so many, like, one door closes, the other door opens simultaneously to that even happen, which is nuts. But how did that placement even come together in the first place? That was off a collab, right?
Yeah, it was with BJ. It was funny because that's how I knew exactly where it was, because at the time I was making MIDI kits. So it was this one MIDI kit that I made that nobody had except 3 people. So I knew to go to those 3 people. I was like, okay, it wasn't this guy. He's the last one standing. And then it was actually him that had got BJ Beats that had got the placement. And I was like, oh bro, like this my MIDI. And he was like, oh word, it was so easy. Like that's why I mess with BJ till this day, because it's like he didn't give me no problems. Like he wasn't greedy or anything. I just asked him, I just told him like, yeah, this is my MIDI. He was like, oh word, bro, like because the MIDI was so old. So and that beat was so old. And YoungBoy had just got on it and dropped the video. So we just got everything done. The lawyer part, everybody was just getting everything situated, and then me and BJ just started working more and more and more. And that was like my actual like first step into the industry. Like that part was actually crazy. And yeah, shout out to BJ too, because he a real one for that.
Nah, shout out to BJ Beats, man. I gotta do BJ an interview with BJ at some point, because he's had a pretty crazy ascension too. I remember Rod Wave Ghetto Gospel, BJ had a placement on there with Tego, and then bro, from there it just takes off. Like he had such a crazy 20 that came out in 2019. He had such a crazy 2020.
2020 was crazy for BJ. I was like, oh my god, he's on everything.
I remember I believe it's still Flexing, Still Stepping, but there was a project that YoungBoy dropped and BJ's got multiple placements on it. And then that same day he drops that project, YoungBoy dropped another single that wasn't on that project with a video, and it was BJ. And I was like, bro, this man is going crazy.
BJ definitely a legend from like working with YoungBoy, because it's like, dang, bro, he was on everything. He's on everything.
He's on everything. So from there, I mean, it's interesting because I feel like people would think, because you have a lot of YoungBoy placements now, like you consistently have work with YoungBoy. I think a lot of people think you're kind of like in that, kind of camp from early on, because you get that placement and stuff keeps coming, but that was kind of like a passive placement. How do you like keep your name in the mix?
It's like, it sounds weird, but it's like stuff just happens. Like I never intended to work with YoungBoy. Like, oh yeah, let me send this to YoungBoy. Let me send this to YoungBoy. I just happened to end up on YoungBoy songs. Like I just get an email, or somebody hit me up. Oh, yeah, we got one with YoungBoy. I'm like, dang, like, all right. So it's like I was never in that camp. It was just so like I just said to anybody, like once you get your first YoungBoy placement, you're going to keep getting YoungBoy placements. So that's all I can really say about that, because I never intended to ever work with YoungBoy.
Right. So BJ's the first one. From there, what's kind of the stories behind some of the other songs? We're gonna do kind of like more of a deep dive on Flossin, but when it comes to the other placements you make an appearance on Sincerely Control, others as well. Like, what's kind of like the background of how those placements end up coming together?
So like the loops, they're all old. Like they're all old loops from 2020 that I was working on. Like the Sincerely Control melody was from 2018 actually. And that one was for 2018. And I just got folders like of melodies just sitting on my computer that I can send out now. So that was an old melody that ended up getting placed with 17 and D-Rock. So I'm literally like on my Finsta account, just like tapping in with the producers or whatever, playing beats. And then I get a notification. I was like, oh wait, I get a notification from 17, like, bro, why be playing our song? And I was like, huh? I went to it. And then he on live playing the song. And I was like, dang, bro, I got another one with YoungBoy. And that song and that album was so like, that song was like anticipated because it was like more of his sad songs. Like he wasn't really making a lot of sad songs like that. So everybody kept the snippet going everywhere, notifications going stupid. Like everybody just talking about, yo, we got to get Level I Want to Reach. The fans even named the song. They named it Level I Want to Reach because a part in the snippet that got played. So that one just kept going. That one was like a very anticipated one. And then the album finally ended up dropping. Like we didn't even know we were going to be on the album because he kept like that's when I think Top had dropped first, and then Cecilia Trail dropped after. So everybody was thinking it was gonna be on Top, but it wasn't. So it was like, dang, bro, we might not be on like YoungBoy next project or this one at all. But they ended up being on Cecilia Trail. And Flossin was a 2018 melody too, because it was a MIDI I started out and I sent it over to Bryson Watu to build over. But it wasn't for YoungBoy. It was just like they send out weekly melodies. So I just sent them, oh yeah, let me get on the weekly melodies with y'all. I just sent it to them, they put in their weekly melodies. And then they had sent it to JR Hitmaker. They're all with internet money, all three of them. They're with internet money. And then it was one night I'm sleeping and on my phone ringing. I'm like, yo, and then I look at his Bryce. I pick up, he's like, bro, we got one with YoungBoy. I was like, huh? Bro, it's going stupid on YouTube. And that one, Flossin would have like 5K views on YouTube in like 2 days. I was like, nah, bro, this ain't regular, bro. Like, no snippet's supposed to get like that much views. Like, and everybody kept talking about it. Oh, this YoungBoy most anticipated snippet. And I was like, dang, bro, is it really his most anticipated snippet? And then his fan pages are so powerful. Like they name songs and he goes with it. They tell you like which songs the fans want. He drops it. Like it's just crazy. That song was #1 like for like a whole year. Everybody just said, nah, this is the snippet. Like this is the song we need. So that's really the crazy part about Flossin.
Yeah, that is crazy. Bro, I seen a list and it was like the most anticipated YoungBoy snippets, whatever, and like #1 was like Flossin or Maybach, and #2 was Flossin or Maybach, and Maybach is Flossin, which is the craziest part about it.
Switching it around, they were calling it Maybach or Flossin.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, we just went with Flossin. Like,
man, yeah, that's crazy, and it ends up. A lot of people probably are wondering because it's an internet money record that is a bonus track on the YoungBoy project. Does that like complicate like the like paperwork or thing of it, or I mean,
nah,
it's kind of a 2-for-1 placement, right?
2 for 1. Like we
Yeah.
ended up doing that one. So the plays contributed to that, the colors.
Yeah.
So we get the plaque for colors, and then that single was on the Internet Money album also. So we get another plaque. So it's just like, oh well, just we win it over here. So
Hey, 2 plaques for contributing to everything. And then
2 plaques. I was like,
damn, full circle. We get right back to the plaques where we started. Full circle.
Exactly.
Started with the plaques, we get right back to it.
Exactly.
But man, it's crazy. I don't know if man, it's crazy to hear that story because even there's a lot of it I didn't even know, especially with kind of just the way the music scene set up in Raleigh and just a whole bunch of, you know, different things that you had going on. I mean, we already spoke obviously on, you know, hits only and everything as far as that goes, but, you know, we're still pretty early in 2022. You know, hopefully people are getting going now though, because we are a good bit in. What's kind of some of the things, either music related or not music related, like the big like goals or plans for the year that, you know, you got planned for as far as Easy goes?
Well, especially like dropping my own music in my name. Like I like doing that, like just all my artist friends, like, oh yeah, let me get this feature. I just like putting songs together like on an executive producing type of thing. Like, oh yeah, let me put this together. Oh, this artist will sound good over here. Like I just want to like just a lot of music dropping from me, like as an artist, like Its2ezzy as an artist. But it's like I'm just putting the songs there, like DJ Khaled, like
Yeah,
stuff like that. And really like working on a lot of pop. So like expect a lot of pop songs for sure. And you feel me? Just literally building more artists, bringing more artists to everybody attention. Because a lot of people come to me for, it's not even like they come to me, but they watch my moves a lot to see what artists I'm gonna showcase next. I'm always showcasing artists on my story, like, oh yeah, like he's fire. Let me just put him on my story. Like, and so it's really like just new music for me. under my name and a lot of pop songs.
Nah, people definitely people will go to your story, see who you're posting just to figure out who to sign, etc.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of cool knowing that too, because it's like it makes my job more easier
Yeah.
with the artist, just to be like, you see, I told you so, right? Like now that trust is like it's good, it's on go now, so we ain't gotta worry about nothing from there.
Nah, join the club, man. I'll post like blah blah produced by my guy, da da da. Next day it's all types of companies hitting them, talk about, yo, we need a lot. Da, da, da. I'm like, man, oh man. People are like, shit, maybe you shouldn't post as much on the story or this. I'm like, man, forget it. I don't even care. I'm posting this shit.
Yeah, exactly. Cause it'd be fire. So it's cool, like, cause I tell them before like what's gonna happen, and then it ends up happening. And they're like, dang, so it won't be a surprise to them. They'll just be like, oh, they'll come back and hit me up. Dang, you were right. They were gonna hit me up. So then, all right, send more beats. Let's go crazy, like, cause now they know, like, all right, we getting to work.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's kind of like the two biggest things, whether you're a producer trying to work with a producer trying to work with the artist, manager trying to work with the artist, whatever. Like those two things is just one, that you're not bullshitting, and two, you can add some sort of value in some way. And like with you being able to kind of do it that way, like, bro, watch, we're gonna lock in and we're gonna do this and this is gonna happen. You telling them it's gonna happen proves you're not bullshitting, and it happening proves you could bring value. So,
Exactly.
It's simple shit just like that.
I just tell them to give me 2 weeks, and then it is whatever. Like it
2 weeks. You got
artists.
artists.
Like, yeah, it's just I know how to. Everything's a formula. If you've been in it and seen it so many times, it goes the same way every time. So it's like you're not gonna miss.
No, it's patterns.
Yeah, it's just literally patterns.
Yeah, but yeah. Speaking to that, kind of in closing, who's you mentioned a lot of them. Feel free to drop them again. Who are some of the artists that you're working with now that you can disclose, even if you're not working with them? Some artists you're excited about in the near future.
Well, of course, like Faygo, that's my brother. I really like his debut with Pink Hearts. It's definitely gonna be a crazy one. That one's gonna be crazy. So it's a bunch of ideas going into that one. Shoujo, Nay, 14-year-old kid, Nay, like crazy out of Brooklyn. So and Shoujo, literally 18 out of the DMV. So it's like they're all young and it's so easy to work with them because they're hungry. Like, so that's definitely the ones I'm on like right now. Like they're gonna go crazy. They're gonna turn up for sure.
Man, young and getting to it. What about any like non-music related Its2ezzy stuff on the radar that you're excited about? Any plans in the upcoming months or anything like that?
It's really like trying to just like up the content even more, like even when it's just like vlogs and stuff, just so people just know, like even without the music, because a lot of people just ask like, yo, what are you doing today? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? It's always like, what are you doing? So it's like, dang, I might as well just video, like just vlog like a regular YouTuber vlog, going to Walmart or something, like just make stuff interesting. Like, so that's really one of the plans, to just be even more on the internet than I am right now, just trying to find different ways to just stay on the internet, really, like without even doing anything music already.
Nah, definitely.
So that's definitely lit.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And even in just kind of like the times we're now, like shit, content is king, content is currency. I mean, Easy's living, breathing proof that you could really make it happen. Even shit, the producer room altogether, like I was just sitting back, like I think I could do that, and I'm sitting back like I wonder why other platforms aren't interviewing so and so or so and so or so and so. And I'm like, shit, am I gonna try or am I just gonna complain about it? And I'm like, all right, well, here we are, and we're going in the right direction, but we're gonna keep running it up. But now we appreciate it big time. The producer room, powered by producer culture, the big go, Its2ezzy in the building. They're always on some other shit. Tell Manny I need my handle at Its2ezzy Legret. and we're
You
going,
look good. I got you. I got you.
and we're going too crazy. But nah, I appreciate it big time, bro. Keep crushing. Excited to see where the year takes us.
Of course, of course.